Some nights when I hear gunshots, I get scared, thinking maybe because by it being a tent, it's cloth, and bullets can come straight through it.
This is the best I got right now. Like, when it rains, the floor gets soaked.
Please help with some spare change, please. My whole world just crumbled, like London Bridge falling down, and I had nowhere to go. I want all the people that are out here in this world who's homeless and this hungry to just try to just hold on and have faith. Just hold on. Things gonna get better. I know they will.
Welcome, Homeless Life Stories.
Tonight, in the winter of 2025, San Francisco can light up Union Square so brightly it feels like daytime, yet it still leaves more than 8,000 people wondering where they can lie down without being woken up. Just a few blocks apart, you have an ice rink, designer shopping bags, a $1.2 million apartment, and right beneath an awning nearby, a mother like Maria holding her daughter tight to stay warm on the concrete. This city spends nearly $1 billion a year on the homelessness crisis, yet the number of people without homes keeps rising. This video shouldn't exist to retell a familiar story about San Francisco. It is a journey of peeling back layers from the battle between HUD and the city to care cordon paper, to the childhoods of kids growing up on the sidewalk. If you're brave enough to look straight at the real scars of a livable city, watch until the end, like, comment, and subscribe to Homeless Life Stories so these people don't exist only as numbers in a report, but can still be heard in the algorithm the whole world is watching. Chapter 1, San Francisco, City of Tech and Sidewalks. By day, San Francisco looks like a trailer for the modern urban dream. Streetcars rolling down Market Street, tech quarters lit up, Union Square strung with holiday lights, and Christmas music playing from every store. But the moment you tilt the camera down to street level, you'll see a second city the brochures never mention, tents pressed against the edge of the sidewalk, rain-soaked sleeping bags, shopping carts piled with belongings, and entire life packed into a few plastic bags. In the official count, more than 8,000 people are experiencing homelessness in San Francisco, enough to fill a small stadium. Most residents may never see that number, but they see its consequences every day, on BART, under overpasses, right at the entrance of a supermarket. In a city where the median home price is over $1.2 million, and a one-bedroom apartment can reach $3,400, $3,500 a month, slipping is no longer some distant misfortune that happens to other people. It's one missed rent payment, one medical bill, one lost job away. Maria used to stand behind a cashier's counter at a store near Powell Street. Now, every night she spreads a thin blanket under an awning, pulls her daughter close, and uses her own body as the last wall between the child and the cold rising from the stone beneath them. Right across the street, Union Square's lights reflect on the glass of the building, strangely beautiful, but unable to warm anyone lying underneath.
My rock bottom was I was homeless living in my car.
It's a home to many, myself included.
Chapter 2, HUD vs. San Francisco, a fight for the survival of housing first, solve later. In the final weeks of 2025, the most important battle affecting people experiencing homelessness in San Francisco is not unfolding on the streets of the Tenderloin, but inside policy documents between the city and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. New federal rules seek to pull back millions of dollars in funding for the Housing First model, the approach that puts a stable home first, and only then addresses mental health treatment, recovery, job searching, and medical care. Instead, money is being directed more toward treatment-first programs with strict conditions. You must comply with a treatment plan, you must become stable first, and only then will housing be considered. For officials and organizations in San Francisco, this is not just a technical argument. Housing First dollars are keeping thousands of people in small studio units, SROs, or supportive housing with services. If that funding is cut, many of them risk being pushed back onto the sidewalk at the very moment the city already has more than 8,000 people without housing. A temporary ruling from a federal court has frozen the planned cuts, giving San Francisco more time with the Housing First lifeline. But down at street level, people like Maria do not live on the concept of temporary. Every time the budget is threatened, it is one more time they have to ask tomorrow night, will I still have a key in my hand, or will I be back to an old blanket under an awning near Union Square?
When you're homeless, you're in survival mode, but society looks at you differently.
Chapter 3, Care Court. When a life preserver becomes a door that's hard to open. On paper, Care Court is introduced as a deeply humane promise to create a fast lane for unhoused people with severe mental illness, people wandering through the Tenderloin Soma Civic Center, talking to themselves, panicking in the cold night so that a court can intervene, order treatment arrangements, support, and eventually housing. But at the end of 2025, many families in San Francisco had begun to feel a harsh truth. To get into Care Court, you must make it through a maze of conditions, paperwork, and criteria that even a healthy person with a home and a printer would find overwhelming. Parents with a son in severe crisis sleeping on the sidewalk say they filed applications, made calls, submitted documents only to receive familiar replies, not eligible yet missing paperwork. This isn't the right case. Meanwhile, out on the street, their son still circles with a plastic bag, sleeping on the same corner of the sidewalk, just a few blocks from the Care Court courthouse. On the other side, some unhoused people are afraid of the program. They don't want to be forced into treatment, forced into a pathway they are not clearly told about, when what they need first is a door that can be safely locked and a bed where they can sleep through a full night. Homeless Life Stories asks if a program is born to save the weakest among the weak, yet most of them cannot reach it, then is it a solution, or merely a beautiful promise on a bulletin board, while their breath still rises white on the wet, cold concrete outside? Chapter 4. Tenderloin in Cold Rain. Why DOS so many people still choose the sidewalk. In mid-December, the Tenderloin is soaked with rain. Water runs along the sidewalk, spills past the feet of tents, mixing with the blue and red neon glow from the signs. On the corners of Ellis or Turk, you can see two San Franciscos at the same time. On one side, tourists rushing by pulling suitcases. On the other, low, fragile tents, wet blankets, and old coats trying to hold off the cold wind blowing down the slope. The question many people who live indoors still ask is, why don't they go into shelters when it's this cold? The answer from unhoused people themselves is very practical. Shelters are overcrowded, beds are close together, personal belongings are easy to lose. Many places don't allow pets, don't allow couples to sleep together, have strict schedules, and anyone with anxiety or going through recovery can easily spiral into crisis. One night in a warm BD, but waking up the next morning to find your tent, your bags, your blankets, your documents gone for them. That risk is too great. A recent arson case, in which the suspect was unhoused, has only increased the fear among housed residents. Pressure to clear the tents for security, for children, for the neighborhood's image, bears down on the city government. Between those two waves are people trying to survive in the rain. If they go to a shelter, they may lose everything. If they stay on the sidewalk, they become a problem everyone wants pushed somewhere else. San Francisco can clear an alley, but no one has answered this. After each encampment sweep, where will the people inside actually go? Chapter 5, 8,000 people, 2,200 students, when childhood happens on the sidewalk. In official reports, San Francisco has more than 8,000 people experiencing homelessness. Within that number, more than 2,200 students in the public school system have experienced unstable housing at some point within a single school year. On paper, they are just a homeless box checked on a form. In real life, they are children waking up on a bus seat in a cheap motel or under a storefront awning before going to class. In the morning at Union Square, tourists take photos by the Christmas tree. Wealthy children skate to holiday music. A few blocks away, Maria wakes her daughter on a thin mattress pressed against a stone wall, trying to smooth her child's hair before school. She whispers, "Smile, baby. No one needs to know." That smile isn't for the holiday season, it's to hide a sleepless night of drafts and the sound of garbage trucks. Teachers say many students fall asleep in class not because they're lazy, but because the night before they had to take turns watching their belongings, watching for police, watching for drunk people passing by. Homework gets done on the sidewalk, streetlights replacing a desk lamp. The city still hangs slogans about future innovators, but the future of these children is being written on cold concrete. A quiet question hangs in every school hallway: how can we expect them to focus on tomorrow's test when tonight they aren't even sure they'll have a bed to sleep in? Chapter 6, a slow system, but people do not stand still. While lawyers argue about HUD, housing first, and care court and soundproof meeting rooms, San Francisco is truly being held together by people who don't have a seat in any of those meetings. In the Mission District, a small church turns its fellowship hall into a dining hall every Friday night, a long line of unhoused people, low-wage workers, and children waiting for a hot plate of food. In the Tenderloin, an outreach group hands out soup, blankets, Narcan, and simply calls each person by their name. In Soma, volunteers split up night shifts, walking past each doorway to make sure that no one is left behind in the cold rain tonight. Up above, the city argues about zoning, about budgets, about targets to reduce the number of tents in the statistics. Down on the ground, person by person, people are trying to keep specific lives going. Maria gets one more dry sleeping bag, James gets clean bandages for his calloused hands, and Sarah gets someone asking, "Are you okay today?" instead of avoiding her eyes. Like a Bible verse still reminds us, speak up for those who cannot defend themselves here. Many people are not only speaking up, they are rolling up their sleeves and stepping into the street. Homeless Life Stories sees that gap between the system and the sidewalk, and inside that gap, small seeds of hope are quietly growing, despite the cold wind from both the Pacific Ocean and the political corridors. Chapter 7, San Francisco on a moral scale. San Francisco likes to be called the most beautiful city in America, the Golden Gate blazing red in the fog, a glittering skyline, cable cars clanging up steep hills, and Union Square shining during the holiday season. But right beneath those lights, more than 8,000 people experiencing homelessness still sleep on concrete, many of them children. Veterans, people with severe mental illness, people who paid taxes and worked their whole lives for this city. On one side are million-dollar billboards inviting you to buy condos, go shopping, and take luxury vacations. On the other are Maria holding her child under an awning, James is wrapping himself in a wet blanket in a Tenderloin alley, and Sarah is gripping the key to a temporary room without knowing whether the funding will be cut next month. On the same street, two universes, one universe of success, one universe hidden behind the phrase social problem. The question is no longer, is San Francisco rich enough, but how does the city want to be remembered? As a place that measures success by the number of new glass towers, or as a place that dares to measure its greatness by how it treats its most vulnerable? Homeless Life Stories is here not to turn pain into sensational content, but to ask one very direct question. If these people keep sleeping at the feet of our buildings, is it really their problem, or is it in the way we choose to look away? Outro. A beautiful city needs more than a skyline. When we leave San Francisco tonight, we are not carrying only the image of the Golden Gate and the steep hill streets on postcards. We are carrying Maria, shielding her child from the rain with her own body. Carrying James, a man who once had a steady job, now folding a torn blanket as if folding up his life. Carrying Sarah and David, people who managed to step one foot off the sidewalk because a small door opened at the right time. This city can keep decorating its sky with new buildings. Or it can do something much harder, decide that real beauty begins with not letting anyone sleep beneath its lights. Housing First, Care Court, affordable housing projects, soup kitchens, churches, outreach teams, they are all just tools. How we choose to use them, that part belongs to us. And if you feel journeys like this deserve to continue so we can walk more streets, meet more people on the margins, you can buy our crew a coffee through the support link in the video description. May one day when we return to San Francisco, the story is no longer about counting how many people sleep on the sidewalk, but about telling the moment this city truly decided that every human being deserves a door to walk through. Amen.